The world-class performer positioning is a cornerstone for most of the training that we do. It is intellectual property of EX3 Matters. We are the only folks that position the profiles and the information, linking it to the world-class performer research that we've done. This has tons and tons and tons of uses. We use it with all of the profiles. So whether you're doing a DISC profile, leadership profile, innovation profile, really anything that you're doing, you're going to see how this opens up the learner's mind and allows you to position the profiles in such a way that they flat get it. And this sets you apart from anybody else that may have used these tools in the past. This training module is designed for a couple of things. One is just to give you some strategy and understanding of the world-class performer positioning. In addition to this, we're going to ask you to download the slides. There are facilitator notes on each of these talking points. And as you go through this, you're going to see we did cover this in a Taking a Consultant's Approach. And if you wanted more information, there's a chapter in Gen Y Now about our research and the positioning of world-class performers. I wanted to just take you through the strategy of each slide and how you may want to use it. It is really, really critical when you start this to take them through this exercise of who and why. Have them think of who they think of as world-class performers, and then jot down a little bit of why. Right out of the gate, it gets your audience involved, and it gets them thinking about world-class performers and who they consider world-class performers. Once they have that down, you can have them talk to each other about it. It gets them involved right out of the gate. And I think it's important for you to point out that you don't have to be famous to be a world-class performer. Have them think of teachers. Have them think of folks that have impacted their lives who may never be famous, but who are certainly world-class. You want to talk a great deal about technical and people skills. In the past, technical skills were the price of admission, or if you want to think of it as flat potential, or they have a skill in a certain area. However, in this day and age, honing your people skills, this is where you can start talking about EQ as well, is really, really important. This opens people up to what might be considered soft skills, but is really critical as they move forward in anything that they're doing. The traits of world-class performers, I would ask you to look at the facilitator notes because we talk about the talk track for each one of these and the importance of each one. I might also suggest that you take some time and expand these and put them into your own words, or add your own thoughts about seeking out a coach or a mentor. Maybe a story around how a mentor has helped you or a particular coach, or ask the room if they have had a mentor or a coach that has had a significant impact. The performance feedback, obviously that's the game film that we're referring to here. You want to tell them the importance of having this feedback. Have them look at any other thing they may have, their performance evaluations, 360-degree reviews. Turning unconscious tendencies into conscious choice. This is an area that you should take some time to get your arms around, because this is not something that people understand intuitively, that they do things because it's rote and they've always done things. And your job in facilitating this discussion is to get them to work their way through that. The other three world-class performer traits that we found is the counterintuitive nature of what it takes to succeed. If you're taking some notes, I would ask you to jot this down from the energy management and the sustainability. In the talk notes in the facilitator track, you'll see that we talk a little bit about that. But let me add you an additional thought for you, and that is that time is the great equalizer. Whether you're a world-class performer or you're just an average performer or a below-average performer, everybody has the same amount of time. I might offer that you add that to your talk notes, because people then begin to understand that it's not how we manage our time as much as how we manage our energy and use our time appropriately. Finally, in nearly everything that we do, we talk about developing an actionable plan. So this isn't just something that we're going to talk about here, but we're going to ask you to take this and put it into motion. The facilitator notes will take you through some of the ways in which you can do that. Your call to action can be several things in this training program. You can be calling them to action to now go through the game film and the profiles that you've completed for them. You can be having them deliver their own individual personal plan, but it's really critical at the end here, since all world-class performers put together an actionable plan, that you ask them to go ahead and make that happen. A key here is that using the world-class performer positioning is not a one and done. It is a wonderful opportunity for you to open the minds of the group and have them understand why this game film is so important and how the best of the best tend to use game film. Once you have introduced this concept to folks, you then are really able to refer back to these concepts throughout your entire engagement, and frankly, throughout the many years you may be working with an individual client. For more information, go to Taking a Consulting's Approach, and you're going to see this being delivered, actually going through it in that initial training. Gen Y Now has a chapter about this that you can get more information, or if you have any questions, please let us know, www.ex3matters.com.